Seniors, once you turn 75, these 5 things happen whether you like it or not. Reaching the age of 75 marks a profound and often surprising turning point in the human body's journey. It isn't merely another birthday, it triggers a series of 5 distinct and deeply embedded biological shifts that unfold within your system, regardless of how meticulously you've approached health in your preceding decades. Whether you've maintained a rigorous exercise routine, adhered to a perfectly balanced diet, or simply felt vibrantly young your entire life, these changes are programmed to activate. They don't announce their arrival with dramatic warning signs or easily discernible symptoms. Instead, they operate silently, like hidden biological switches buried deep within your genetic code, meticulously timed to flip on at this specific milestone age. The insidious nature of their onset makes them particularly challenging to recognize and address proactively. Extensive research conducted by the National Institute on Aging, corroborated by thousands of medical studies spanning continents from the United States to Europe and Asia, confirms that these 5 significant physiological shifts follow an incredibly predictable sequence. This means that every single individual who lives to be 75 years old will experience these fundamental alterations, irrespective of their unique genetic makeup, lifelong lifestyle choices, or even their prior health status. This universality is both striking and a little unsettling. What I found particularly shocking during my deep dive into this topic was the unfortunate reality that most medical professionals typically don't engage in detailed discussions about these specific changes until seniors present themselves in their offices with complications that are already well underway, often advanced and more difficult to manage. Similarly, families frequently overlook the subtle early indicators because these shifts unfold so gradually, operating primarily behind the scenes of daily life. Seniors themselves often attribute any new discomforts or limitations to normal aging, unknowingly missing the fact that these particular biological processes follow distinct, identifiable patterns that, once understood, can be actively managed and even mitigated to a significant degree. Among these shifts, the second change on our list is exceptionally alarming. Neurological studies have revealed that it begins to inflict damage on the brain 3 to 4 years before any outward symptoms become apparent. This makes it not only one of the most silent, but also potentially the most dangerous of all 5 biological transformations. In the forthcoming discussion, we will meticulously unpack all 5 of these biological changes that activate precisely at age 75. We will begin with change number 5, then progress through to change number 1, which fundamentally dictates how rapidly your entire body will continue to age beyond this critical 75th year. Before we delve into these intricate details, it is absolutely paramount to be crystal clear about the purpose of this information. This discussion is intended solely for educational awareness. It is designed to empower you with knowledge, not to replace professional medical advice. If you are approaching your 75th birthday, or if you have recently passed this significant age, it is crucial that you work in close collaboration with your healthcare team. Armed with this understanding of the impending or ongoing biological shifts, you can proactively implement targeted strategies. These strategies are not about reversing the biological clock entirely, that remains beyond our current capabilities, but rather about maintaining a high quality of life, preserving independence, and enhancing well-being despite the inevitable physiological alterations that are occurring. Now let's explore the profound and often unexpected transformations that genuinely take hold when you celebrate your 75th year. Change number 5, your sleep architecture completely restructures itself. Let's begin with a change that impacts every single night of your life, fundamentally altering how your brain approaches the essential process of sleep once you reach 75. This isn't merely about needing a little less sleep or simply waking up earlier than you used to. What happens is a complete architectural overhaul of your entire sleep cycle, reshaping the very foundations of your nocturnal rest. The implications of this are far-reaching, affecting everything from your energy levels to your cognitive function. The core reason for this dramatic shift lies in the brain's changing activity. Research published by the esteemed Sleep Research Society highlights that after the age of 75, your brain significantly reduces its production of deep sleep, sometimes by as much as 70%. Deep sleep, also known as slow-wave sleep, is the absolute bedrock of restorative rest. It's the critical stage where your body diligently repairs tissues, bolsters your immune system, and consolidates the memories and learning from the day. In younger years, this stage is a nightly guarantee, a period of profound physical and mental rejuvenation. For individuals over 75, however, deep sleep effectively becomes a rare luxury, its scarcity having a direct impact on overall vitality and resilience. Compounding this, your brain begins to produce significantly less melatonin naturally. Melatonin, often referred to as the sleep hormone, is the crucial chemical signal that tells your body it's time to prepare for sleep and then helps maintain that sleep throughout the night. After 75, its natural production can drop by approximately 15% every single year. This steep decline explains the frustrating experience of finding yourself wide awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, even when you feel utterly exhausted. The mechanism behind this involves alterations in the pineal gland, the small, pea-sized structure deep within your brain responsible for melatonin synthesis. As you age, this gland becomes less responsive to the darkness signals from your eyes, which are supposed to cue melatonin production. Furthermore, your circadian rhythm, that intricate internal biological clock that dictates your sleep-wake cycles, actually shifts forward by about 2 to 3 hours after age 75. This fundamental change in timing provides a clear explanation for phenomena like an early 4 p.m. dinner suddenly making perfect sense, or why you might find yourself ready for bed just as everyone else is settling in for their evening activities. Scientists have a specific term for this: advanced sleep phase syndrome. It occurs because the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, in your brain, essentially your body's master clock, starts operating on an altered schedule. This is primarily due to changes in how your brain processes light sensitivity and the aforementioned shifts in hormone production. What makes this transformation particularly challenging is the resulting fragmentation of your sleep. Studies show that the average 75-year-old wakes up anywhere between 15 to 20 times per night. While you might only recall a handful of these awakenings, brainwave studies clearly demonstrate that these micro-awakenings occur repeatedly as you cycle through the various stages of sleep. Your brain simply has a much harder time maintaining continuous sleep stages, leading to a restless, unfulfilling night of broken sleep. To navigate these changes effectively, rather than fighting against an altered biological blueprint, sleep experts strongly recommend embracing your new schedule. This means going to bed when you genuinely feel tired, even if that means retiring at 7 p.m. and rising with the sun. It also means utilizing those early morning hours productively, perhaps for quiet activities like reading, meditation, or gentle stretching, instead of lying in bed frustrated by your inability to fall back asleep. Creating a dedicated sleep sanctuary becomes incredibly important at this age. Ensuring your bedroom temperature is maintained between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit is optimal. This is because your body's temperature regulation also undergoes changes after 75, making you considerably more sensitive to heat during sleep, which can further disrupt restful slumber. Crucially, strategically timed light exposure can become your secret weapon for managing your shifted circadian rhythm. Aim to get bright light exposure, preferably natural sunlight, within 30 minutes of waking. This powerful signal helps to re-anchor your new biological clock, setting its rhythm for the day. Conversely, avoiding all screens, phones, tablets, computers, and even bright overhead lights after 6 p.m. can help trigger whatever small amount of natural melatonin your body still produces. Many individuals find remarkable success with split sleep patterns, a practice that was actually quite common before the advent of the Industrial Revolution. This involves sleeping for approximately 4 hours, waking for an hour or two of quiet activity such as reading or light stretching, and then returning to sleep for another 3 to 4 hours. Research indicates that this segmented sleep pattern may align more closely with natural human sleep biology than the conventional 8 straight hours. The fundamental key here is to accept that 8 continuous, uninterrupted hours of sleep is likely no longer your reality. Working with your new sleep architecture, rather than constantly battling against it, significantly reduces stress. The anxiety and effort involved in trying to force old sleep patterns actually exacerbates fragmentation and can lead to chronic insomnia, a condition that affects up to 60% of people over 75. Your sleep will undoubtedly be different, but different does not inherently mean worse if you adapt your expectations and daily routines to harmonize with your body's new, evolved blueprint. Change number 4, your internal thermostat breaks down permanently. As profoundly as your sleep patterns shift, an equally dramatic and perhaps even more immediate change occurs within your body's sophisticated temperature regulation system. Upon turning 75, your body's intricate ability to maintain a stable internal temperature doesn't merely decline, it begins to fundamentally malfunction, leading to a range of uncomfortable and potentially dangerous situations. This breakdown touches almost every aspect of your thermal experience, from feeling inexplicably cold on a warm day to overheating rapidly. The primary orchestrator of temperature control in your brain, the hypothalamus, is a tiny but vital region. By age 75, this area typically loses about 20% of its thermosensitive neurons, the specialized cells responsible for detecting subtle changes in temperature and coordinating the body's appropriate responses. When a fifth of these critical detectors are gone, your body literally loses its ability to sense temperature fluctuations as accurately as it once did. This explains why you might find yourself shivering uncontrollably when everyone else in the room feels perfectly comfortable, or conversely, why a slightly warm day that others barely notice leaves you feeling profoundly drained, dizzy, and on the verge of heat exhaustion. Simultaneously, your sweat glands, which are the body's most effective and primary cooling system, undergo a significant decline. Their number and efficiency can decrease by as much as 40% after age 75. Fewer functioning sweat glands translate directly into extreme difficulty in cooling down once your body temperature begins to rise. The mechanism behind this involves both a reduction in the actual density of sweat glands and impaired function in those that remain. This diminished capacity for cooling is a serious concern. Research from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, reveals a staggering 300% jump in heat stroke hospitalizations among individuals over 75, largely because their bodies can no longer effectively dissipate heat. Adding to this challenge, your blood vessels, which play a crucial role in temperature regulation, lose their elasticity and ability to constrict and dilate properly in response to thermal changes. This process, known as vasomotion adaptation, normally allows your body to precisely shift blood flow, directing it away from the skin's surface to conserve warmth when cold, or pushing it towards the skin to release heat when hot. After 75, this finely tuned system becomes sluggish, inefficient, and unresponsive, further compromising your body's ability to adapt. Moreover, the subcutaneous fat layer just beneath your skin, which acts as a natural layer of insulation, thins by approximately 30% after 75. This reduction in your body's natural thermal blanket leaves you with significantly less protection against cold temperatures, offering a clear explanation for why a winter chill seems to penetrate right to your bones, leaving you feeling perpetually cold even indoors. Your metabolic rate, which is essentially the speed at which your body burns energy to create internal heat, also drops by about 20% after 75. This means you are naturally producing less internal heat, precisely when you might need it most, especially in cooler environments. What makes this internal thermostat breakdown particularly dangerous is a chilling lack of clear warning signals. Studies unequivocally demonstrate that people over 75 often do not feel thirsty, even when critically dehydrated. Similarly, their shivering response, a vital survival mechanism against cold, becomes markedly ineffective. These are critical physiological cues that typically alert us to danger, and their failure leaves older adults highly vulnerable to both hypothermia and hyperthermia without realizing it. To proactively manage this complex breakdown, experts strongly advise maintaining your living space within a narrow, comfortable temperature range, ideally between 68 and 74 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. This might feel surprisingly warm in the winter months and quite cool in the summer, but it represents the optimal Goldilocks zone that your compromised thermoregulation system can most effectively handle. Layering clothing becomes not just a matter of fashion, but an essential strategy. You need the ability to quickly adjust your attire as your internal perception of temperature can fluctuate multiple times throughout the day due to subtle changes in blood pressure, the effects of medications, and varying activity levels. Hydration takes on a new and profound importance because water is fundamentally involved in numerous physiological processes, including temperature regulation. Since your thirst sensation becomes an unreliable indicator, setting hourly reminders to drink water becomes crucial. Aim for a minimum of 48 ounces daily, regardless of whether you feel thirsty or not, to prevent dangerous dehydration. Installing accurate thermometers in multiple rooms of your home can help you rely on objective temperature readings rather than your often unreliable internal sensors. Many people find success and comfort with programmable thermostats that automatically adjust the temperature throughout the day, removing the need for constant manual intervention. Exercise, paradoxically, becomes both more important and simultaneously more dangerous after 75. Physical activity is vital to maintain what remains of your thermoregulation ability and overall physical function. However, you must exercise extreme caution regarding physical exertion in any temperature extreme. Experts strongly recommend confining exercise to indoor environments whenever outdoor temperatures dip below 40°F or soar above 75°F. Creating consistently temperature-stable environments becomes a critical aspect of daily living. This might involve ensuring you have a perfectly climate-controlled bedroom, even if other areas of the house fluctuate, and always carrying extra layers of clothing and a bottle of water when venturing outside. Your margin for error regarding temperature exposure shrinks to almost nothing, demanding heightened awareness and proactive planning. Change number 3. Your digestive system enters permanent slowdown mode. As challenging as adapting to changes in sleep and temperature regulation can be, an even more pervasive and fundamental transformation occurs throughout your entire digestive system. The moment you cross the threshold of your 75th birthday, your entire gastrointestinal tract begins a significant and permanent shift into what gastroenterologists technically refer to as presbyesophagus and presbycolon. These medical terms, when demystified, simply mean that every single part of your digestive system, from the initial bite of food to its eventual elimination, starts moving in a persistently slower, more deliberate motion. This profound slowdown impacts everything from nutrient absorption to overall comfort. Let's break down the journey of food. Your esophagus, the muscular tube responsible for transporting food from your mouth to your stomach, loses a substantial amount, up to 50% of its muscle coordination after age 75. This is due to the deterioration of the delicate nerve cells that orchestrate the precise, wave-like contractions, peristalsis, necessary for smooth swallowing. Consequently, what was once an automatic, unconscious process now often becomes a conscious, deliberate effort. That unsettling feeling of food getting stuck in your throat or chest isn't your imagination. It's your esophageal muscles literally struggling and forgetting how to work in their previously coordinated sequence. Further compromising the digestive process, saliva production in your mouth drops by approximately 40% after age 75. This reduction is enormously significant because saliva isn't just for lubrication. It contains crucial digestive enzymes like amylase that initiate the breakdown of carbohydrates before food even reaches your stomach. Less saliva means that chemical digestion becomes harder right from the very first bite, placing a greater burden on the subsequent stages of digestion. Upon reaching the stomach, another critical change unfolds. Your stomach produces 30% less hydrochloric acid after 75. While this might initially sound beneficial for those who have suffered from heartburn, this stomach acid is absolutely essential for several vital functions. It's crucial for breaking down complex proteins into usable amino acids, facilitating the absorption of essential micronutrients like vitamin B12, iron, and calcium, and serving as a critical first line of defense by killing harmful bacteria that inevitably enter with food. A reduction in acid compromises all these processes. The real crisis, however, often occurs in your small intestine. Here, the millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi, which dramatically increase the surface area for nutrient absorption, shrink by up to 25%. This reduction in absorptive capacity is so significant that research refers to it as malabsorption syndrome, affecting virtually everyone over 75 to some degree. What this means is that even if you consume the most nutritious and wholesome foods, your small intestine simply cannot absorb their vital nutrients as efficiently as it once could, potentially leading to widespread nutritional deficiencies. Beyond the small intestine, your pancreas, a gland vital for producing enzymes that break down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, reduces its enzyme output by about 40%. This explains why favorite meals that never bothered you in your younger years suddenly leave you feeling bloated, gassy, and profoundly uncomfortable. Your pancreas simply can't produce enough of the necessary enzymes to properly digest the complex components of the meal. The large intestine also becomes particularly problematic. The transit time, the duration it takes for food to move through your entire digestive system, can increase dramatically. What was once a normal 30 to 40 hours can sometimes stretch to over 100 hours in individuals over 75. This significant slowdown is the primary cause of chronic constipation, a pervasive issue affecting a staggering 60% of this age group. Finally, even your liver, a remarkably resilient organ, experiences a decline. While it typically maintains impressive function, it still loses about 30% of its mass and blood flow by age 75. This makes it less efficient at processing medications and nutrients, which is precisely why doctors frequently need to adjust medication dosages for older adults. To effectively work with this digestive slowdown, rather than constantly battling its effects, adopting certain eating habits becomes paramount. Eating smaller, more frequent meals, ideally every 3 to 4 hours, rather than 3 large, heavy meals, helps your struggling digestive system manage the workload more effectively. Each meal should ideally contain no more than 400 to 500 calories to prevent overwhelming your reduced enzyme production and slower transit times. Chewing food thoroughly becomes critically important. Aim for at least 30 chews per bite to mechanically break down food as much as possible, compensating for reduced saliva and stomach acid. Since your body's natural chemical digestion is compromised, incorporating digestive enzyme supplements with meals can often provide significant relief, effectively replacing what your pancreas no longer produces adequately. Many people find success with broad-spectrum enzyme formulas, often taken 15 minutes before eating. Probiotic foods transition from being optional health boosters to essential components of your daily diet. Fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi are vital for maintaining a diverse and healthy gut microbiome. You need to consume them daily because your altered gut environment makes it harder for beneficial bacteria to permanently colonize. Your fiber strategy also needs a complete reevaluation after 75. While fiber is undoubtedly necessary for regular bowel movements and overall gut health, consuming too much of certain types can actually overwhelm your slowed system. Experts recommend gradually increasing your intake of soluble fiber, found in foods like oatmeal, bananas, apples, and sweet potatoes, as it tends to be gentler on the digestive tract. Conversely, exercise caution with an abundance of raw vegetables, which your weakened system might struggle to break down efficiently. Thoughtful dietary adjustments are key to navigating this permanent digestive slowdown with greater comfort and better nutrient absorption. Change number 2. Your balance system undergoes irreversible deterioration. Just as your internal digestive processes become more challenging, an even more immediate and potentially dangerous change unfolds within your body's intricate sense of balance. Beginning precisely at age 75, 3 distinct and crucial balance systems within your body simultaneously initiate an irreversible process of deterioration. This multifaceted decline means that your once reliable sense of stability becomes increasingly compromised, leading to a heightened risk of falls and a significant impact on your independence and confidence. Let's examine the components of this vital system. Your inner ear houses the vestibular system, a complex network of tiny calcium crystals, otoliths, and fluid-filled canals that are exquisitely sensitive to head position and movement. This finely tuned system loses approximately 40% of its specialized sensory cells by age 75. With fewer functioning sensory cells, your brain receives confused, delayed, or incomplete signals about your body's precise orientation and movement in space. The mechanism involves the degeneration of the delicate hair cells within the semicircular canals, which are responsible for detecting rotational movements, and the otolith organs, which detect linear acceleration and gravity. This diminished input means your brain has a much harder time accurately perceiving your body's position. Adding to this sensory confusion, the proprioceptors located in your muscles and joints, those specialized sensors that constantly relay information to your brain about where your body parts are, even without you looking, experience a significant decrease in sensitivity by up to 50%. Research clearly demonstrates that this decline explains those unsettling moments when you might miss a step on a familiar staircase or misjudge distances that you've navigated perfectly for decades. Your brain simply isn't receiving accurate or timely information about the precise position and movement of your limbs, leading to missteps and instability. Your vision's contribution to maintaining balance also drops dramatically. Contrast sensitivity, your ability to distinguish between objects of similar color or shade, can decrease by a staggering 60%, and depth perception, your ability to judge distances, weakens by 40%. This makes it considerably harder to see the edges of steps, accurately judge distances when walking, and detect subtle obstacles, especially in conditions of low or uneven lighting. The world literally becomes flatter and less distinct, a treacherous landscape for maintaining stability. However, the real disaster in the balance system unfolds within your brain's integration center, the sophisticated neural hub where all these diverse balance signals from the inner ear, proprioceptors, and eyes are assimilated and processed. The processing speed for this crucial balance information slows by up to 70% after age 75. This means that even if your sensory organs do detect a problem, perhaps a slight stumble or a sudden shift in weight, your brain simply cannot coordinate and execute a corrective response quickly enough to prevent a fall. The lag time between detection and reaction becomes too great. Furthermore, your body's primary instinctive defense against small balance disruptions, known as the ankle strategy, weakens dramatically. The small muscles around your ankles lose approximately 40% of their strength, and ankle flexibility decreases by up to 50%. This loss means your body is less able to make those rapid, subtle adjustments at the ankle to regain equilibrium. As a result, your body is forced to rely more heavily on less efficient and more effortful hip strategies, moving the hips to restore balance, and stepping strategies, taking a step to catch yourself, both of which are far more likely to fail, especially during unexpected disturbances. The psychological component further compounds everything after 75. The very fear of falling, a natural and understandable reaction to perceived instability, can actually increase your fall risk by an additional 30%. This is because anxiety causes muscle tension, reduces the fluid and automatic movements essential for good balance, and leads to a cautious, shuffling gait that paradoxically makes one less stable. Finally, your blood pressure regulation also plays a significant role in balance. Orthostatic hypotension, that dizzy, lightheaded feeling you experience when standing up too quickly, affects 30% of people over 75. These moments of sudden dizziness create periods of extreme fall risk during even routine position changes. To effectively combat this pervasive deterioration, balance training must become as routine and ingrained as brushing your teeth. Simple yet powerful exercises can make a profound difference. Standing on one foot while gently turning your head challenges your vestibular function. Closing your eyes while standing with support nearby specifically targets and strengthens proprioception. Reaching exercises where you extend your arm to touch objects at various heights and distances challenge your visual spatial integration and coordination. The dual task training approach has shown remarkable results. This involves performing balance exercises while simultaneously engaging in a cognitive task, such as counting backwards from 100 by threes or naming animals that start with a specific letter. This mirrors real-life situations where you need to maintain balance while thinking about something else, like carrying groceries or talking on the phone. Tai Chi has emerged as perhaps the perfect balance intervention for individuals over 75. Numerous studies have shown that consistent Tai Chi practice can reduce fall risk by up to 45%. This ancient practice combines slow, controlled movements with deliberate weight shifting, mental focus, and often includes a social engagement component, all of which synergistically enhance balance and stability. Environmental modifications within the home become non-negotiable. Remove all throw rugs, which are notorious tripping hazards. Install grab bars, not just in bathrooms, but also along hallways and near frequently used areas. Significantly improve lighting throughout the home, paying particular attention to stairs and transitional areas between rooms. Create clear, unobstructed pathways, free of clutter and obstacles. Your footwear strategy also completely transforms after 75. Proper shoes cease to be mere fashion choices and become essential medical equipment. You need shoes with firm, non-slip soles, low heels, no more than 1 inch, and secure fastenings like laces or Velcro. Many podiatrists now recommend wearing supportive shoes even inside the house to provide continuous stability. Finally, the timing of your activities matters enormously. Your balance is typically at its best in the late morning, after you've been moving for a few hours, but before afternoon fatigue sets in. Scheduling any challenging activities or exercises during this optimal window can significantly reduce your fall risk, ensuring you engage in movement when your balance systems are most effective. Dr. Rouse. Change. Number 1. Your muscle mass enters catastrophic decline. We have arrived at the most pervasive and impactful change, the one that ultimately influences and exacerbates absolutely every other biological shift discussed thus far. At the precise age of 75 years old, your body triggers what scientists term sarcopenia overdrive, a biological process where you begin to lose muscle mass at an accelerated and alarming rate of 3 to 5% per year. This isn't just a minor cosmetic change. This is about the fundamental erosion of the very tissue that determines your ability to perform basic daily functions, to get out of a chair unaided, to climb stairs, or ultimately to live independently. To put this into perspective, by the age of 80, just 5 years after this switch flips, you could have lost up to 25% of your remaining muscle mass. This loss goes far beyond simply appearing less toned. It signifies a profound reduction in strength, power, and metabolic function that underpins nearly every aspect of your physical well-being. Research from the National Institute on Aging has unveiled a truly startling discovery. After 75, your body literally begins to break down its own muscle tissue for fuel, even when you are consuming an adequate number of calories. This occurs because of a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. In essence, your muscles gradually lose their ability to respond effectively to protein intake and exercise stimuli in the same way they did when you were younger. The signals to build and repair muscle become muted or ignored. Further compounding this, your satellite cells, the specialized stem cells responsible for muscle repair, regeneration, and growth, decrease in number by a staggering 70% after age 75. This means that when your muscles experience the inevitable micro-damage from normal daily activity or even light exercise, they simply do not have the cellular resources to rebuild and recover efficiently. The losses accumulate day after day, week after week, leading to a relentless downward spiral of muscle decline. The type 2 muscle fibers, often referred to as fast-twitch fibers, which are primarily responsible for power, speed, and quick explosive movements, such as catching yourself from a fall, standing up rapidly from a low chair, or quickly dodging an obstacle, disappear at twice the rate of the more enduring type 1 fibers. This disproportionate loss explains why simple tasks that require a burst of strength, like opening a stubborn jar or getting out of a low sofa, become progressively more challenging, eventually feeling impossible. The neural connections that control movement also suffer. Your motor units, the intricate nerve-muscle connections that transmit signals from your brain to your muscles, die off at an alarming rate after 75. Each lost motor unit means that dozens of muscle fibers it once innervated simply stop working forever. Crucially, your body does not create new motor units to replace them, leading to a permanent reduction in muscle activation and control. A hormonal catastrophe further exacerbates this muscle decline at age 75. Testosterone levels in men plummet to nearly undetectable levels. Growth hormone production, vital for tissue repair and growth, can fall by as much as 80%. IGF-1, insulin-like growth, factor 1, another crucial muscle-building hormone, becomes so profoundly low that your muscles literally cannot receive the necessary signals to grow or even adequately maintain themselves, even when you attempt to exercise. Moreover, inflammation markers in the body, such as interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha, can increase by up to 300% after 75. This chronic, low-grade inflammation creates a persistent catabolic state throughout your body, meaning your system is constantly breaking down muscle tissue faster than it can build it, almost regardless of your nutritional intake or activity level. The mitochondria within your muscle cells, the tiny powerhouses responsible for producing energy, experience a dual assault. Their number can decrease by 50%, and their efficiency can drop by an additional 30%. This combined effect means your muscles have approximately 65% less available energy for any activity, whether it's walking across a room or lifting a teacup. This profound energy deficit directly explains the crushing, pervasive fatigue that hits after even minimal exertion, leaving you feeling utterly depleted. Finally, protein synthesis, the fundamental process by which your body builds new muscle tissue, slows by up to 60% after 75. This means that to simply maintain muscle, let alone build it, you need to consume significantly more protein than younger individuals. Research now shows that people over 75 need at least 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily, compared to just 0.8 grams for younger adults, almost double the amount. What makes this catastrophic muscle loss particularly terrifying is its accelerated rate during any period of inactivity. Just 10 days of bed rest after age 75 can cause the same amount of muscle loss that would typically occur over 2 years of normal aging, and tragically, recovering that lost muscle becomes incredibly difficult, almost impossible, due to the anabolic resistance that has taken hold. To effectively fight against this catastrophic decline decline in muscle mass, protein timing becomes absolutely critical. It's not just about how much protein you eat, but when you eat it. Research consistently shows that you need to consume a substantial amount of high-quality protein, specifically 25 to 30 grams, at each meal to effectively trigger muscle protein synthesis. Spreading your protein intake evenly throughout the day is far more effective than loading it all into one large dinner meal.